This fight was a piece of cake!
Now that's how it's done.
You have made a mistake coming here.
Hey, this is part 2 to Donatello analysis. Go watch the first part to get some idea of what's going on. Hello and welcome back to Nerd Analyzing, a fictional turtle that knows karate. In the last part we covered Mirage 87 and 2003 versions of Donatello, and here we'll go over 2012 Rise and Mutant Mayhem. I'll also put some ideas on how Donatello could get some major screen time. But before we continue, I'll go quickly over the rules again. Number 1, no comics, as I've never read them. Number 2, I'll try to keep everything service level as not to drag the video's pace. Number 3, Rise Donnie is great, and today we will get to him. So let's start off with...
No, I'm not playing hard to get. I'm telling you, sir, it's not that kind of phone line.
He doesn't do anything. He and Mikey are just sidelined for Rap and Leo. You know, I really do like how most TMNT movies either focus on Rap or Leo, so Donnie and Mikey are just there to fill the space. It's really great. Also, there was supposed to be a dedicated movie for Donatello, but it was cancelled, so that's cool, I'll go fuck myself. Oh boy, what could I say about this version of Donatello? I'll list the positives. He still invents cool stuff. I like how his voice actor is the same as Raphael's in 1987.
Donatello, you've been watching way too many reruns of Star Trek.
Who can concentrate with Raph exploding all the time?
I like his bow staff sound and how it's upgraded to have a blade. I like how he's this sarcastic nerd who still deep down cares a lot about others. But as much as I like his positives, I must address the elephant in the room. The April ship. Why did they have to add this to the show? It's firstly extremely awkward and really broke down my enjoyment of the show. Second, it's fucked that it's basically bestiality. Like one is a human girl and the other one is a fucking turtle. Also, how many times she kisses him? How does she not have a salmonella? It's stupid, it's fucked and basically brings down his character. Second, he's really creepy about it. Like he stalks her, has pictures of her, he gets in this super annoying love triangle with Casey Jones. And whenever both are drooling over April, I just want both of them to get run over by a bus. Other than that, he's fine. I don't really oppose change, but you know, I do kinda miss the soft-spoken, kind person that the other Donnies were. But I do like how he acts like an actual teenager, like he gets frustrated when he can't accomplish a task, and he doesn't abuse Mikey physically, but more verbally, but he's quite close with him. And how often he blames himself for things out of his control, most usually when he is overworking himself with his inventions. I'll quickly go over some episodes and stuff that I will change. I like how in the Metalhead episode he was doubting his fighting capabilities with his stuff, but he was proving wrong when Metalhead, the robot he invented, got taken over by the Krang and defeated them. I do like how he really cares for TMNT the mutagen man and how he wants to find a cure for him, even though he did invent retro mutagen, he never uses it on him and that's really crappy. There was this one episode where he wanted to get revenge against this mafia boss but spared him and it was pretty nice. I do like how he actually develops during the series and which Dom from 2003 got the same amount of attention. But I do wish some things were different. For instance, toss that April shit out, she's just a friend and it should stay that way. I would make him a bit more friendly and not get angry as quickly as he does now. And during this one episode where Mikey spills this chemical on his hand, he becomes brain dead, which I found really dumb. As how I would have done it is him turning more angry and violent, and we would have a Donatello vs Michelangelo fight, where Mikey has to try and calm Donnie down and let him cure him. It would have been pretty neat. Anyway, the 2012 version is fine if the writers did bring his character down with the crappy chipping. He would be one of my favorites, but because of the constant chipping and not taking the hint not to continue this bestiality promoting ship, I just don't really care for him as much compared to something like 1987 done. While he was given a decent amount of screen time, how we felt that time was like 70% enjoyable and had some great moments, only being dragged down by that 30% cringe writing. Nickelodeon may have created one of the most questionable Donatellos, but they also created one of the best iterations of him. Did you really think I was going to talk about Michael Bay's Dan? I hate to disappoint at least 2 people who were looking forward to this, but I'm not rewatching these movies as they're awful. No, the best Donnie goes to...
Donatello! With the book in his hand! Saves the day and proves to everyone that he's the man!
Rise Donatello. What could I say about him that others haven't? I could say he is such a fuckhead. I love it. Easily the most entertaining and funniest version of Donnie. He's such a sarcastic asshole that you can't help but love it. He's so dramatic, wild, and acts like a deranged scientist. It's so funny. I like how he is a soft shell, so he has to cover his shell with armored backpacks, and those backpacks come with different perks like robot hands, jetpacks, and so on. It also really brings a lot more tension when he is without one, as he's vulnerable with his leathery shell. I also really like how his bow staff has been upgraded with some amazing tech, which can change between weapon types. Like first it's just a simple tech bow, then it can turn into thruster powered hammer, which also can be used to cover great distances. It's really cool. I also must say I love his design, as it tells that he's a tech guy without being a nerd. Like the showrunners could give him glasses and call it a day, but they actually put thought into his design, which I have to really praise. As I hate when they make him look like a stereotypical nerd. And the voice actor for him is just perfect.
Loom 16, take corridor B. Down the stairs past the ibis tapestry. Sliding bookcase after bookcase shows the way to the hall. Up the pole through a hole to the waterfall.
Keep it down, Donnie.
Donatello, with the book in his hand, saves the day and proves to everyone that he's the man. Hobo comes in and takes him away, but Donnie's he will live to fight another day!
I did complain about 2012 Donnie not being the same as the previous ones, but that was because he was not funny and was quite dragged down with the April ship. But here Donnie is just good friends with her, which is what I wanted. I also really like his relationship with Michelangelo this time around, as Mikey is the opposite of him, showing lots of emotion and being very nice towards others, unlike him. And it really plays well as they both cover each other's shortcomings, as Don helps Mikey to focus while he helps Don with his poor social skills. And during the movie, Don was his emotional support when his two other brothers were fighting each other. Donnie puts himself between Mikey to protect him, like to block a tentacle from hurting him or to soften the blow from Krang. And hey, don't think I have forgotten his relationships with Leo being rivalry twins or his respect towards Raph, as they are equally amazing, but I just like his dynamic with Mikey a lot more. He tries to show himself as emotionless, but he is still passionate and cares a lot about others like in the previous versions, but this time it's all used covered behind sarcasm and cocky nature. But guess what? There's a reason why he doesn't show much of his feelings. It's because he's autistic. I didn't know about it until I watched a few videos about him. It's really nice that it's more of a show than not tell, because I kind of hate when the media just outright says what a certain character has, as it will not feel as impactful if I just said, I have crippling depression, instead of just showing that I have crippling depression. He's just so hilarious and a badass, and it's the reason why this is usually considered the best version of him. But he isn't just the GOAT because he's funny, but he also has some great character development. He absolutely loves mystical magic as he doesn't understand it, and over the course of the show he tries to brag about his scientific skills being superior compared to mysticism. But he really is insecure about it, as it puts his place in as a science guy in question with the team, so he has to try and prove that his science is still viable. And April, being the great friend she is, shows Donnie that science and mystic powers are superior together. And how right she was, as when Donnie finally unlocks his own mystic abilities, he can create so many different tech with it and makes him a stronger fighter. Like for example, this running gag about his drill being in beta. First it starts off small, but in the end it's super massive. And then during the fight against Shredder, he makes it even bigger, like you can't just make a joke into a really awesome weapon. But goddamn, they just did, and I really love it. He also deals the final blow against Krang with the drills. It's really cool. Rise Donnie is mostly what I wanted from previous Donatellos. More screen time and some great character arcs. While I would have liked him having to learn his mystic powers when his brothers already were using it, I understand that cancelling the show most likely affected this. And while in the movie, Donnie is still really funny, but as it was Leonardo's movie, he takes a bit of a backseat for him. But instead of just making him a background character like in the 2007 version, he has this quite funny character arc where he's absolutely disgusted by Krang's architecture, like he wants nothing to do with it, but in order to save the world, he must. And I relate to him so much as I'd rather shoot myself than put my hands anywhere near that. And when he gets over his disgust, he becomes one with the spaceship, and while it is short-lived, it is still cool. And hey, he gets these massive cannons to shoot. I would have preferred if it was one big laser, but this is just me nitpicking. And again, he gets the final blow against Krang like Donatello in Mirage and 2000 with Shredder. I hate how we will never probably see more of this Donnie, but holy shit, his short run was memorable. This Donnie was pretty much everything that I wanted. More screen time, fan appreciation, and honestly being not left to the background. I can't do enough justice for this Donnie, so I will link 2 great videos that go deeper into his character, as they're really good. And for our final iteration, I want to quickly go over Mutant Mayhem's Donnie. He is fine. I wasn't really a big fan of any of the turtles in this movie, as the amount of modern pop culture references was off-putting for me personally. Well, coming off from Rise, this Donnie feels more like a downgrade to me. Like I just praised Donatello for having a great design that didn't you say, I am a nerd. But sadly this Donnie just reverted back to one, like with his oversized glasses. Stop giving him glasses, I am so tired of engineers and tech guys being downgraded to look like nerds. I hate it with Wheeljack's redesign, and I hate it here. I am also not the biggest fan of his voice, as it's sometimes plain annoying.
It's even better! Attack on Titan, whoever Walker this is, likes anime!
I guess it's cool that he likes anime and he delves at the same time as his brothers, but I am not a fan. Especially when they're making a TV show based on the movie, I can't help but feel just slightly cheated out, especially when Rise's 3rd season got cancelled for this. If there was a tier list of Donatello's iterations I've covered in this video, then this Donnie will go to the bottom. Maybe I'll be proven wrong over time, but at the moment I just can't help but feel jaded.
It sounds, well, silly. No offense.
Alright, now that I've gone over the Donnies, I want to give a TLDR. 87, pretty good screen time. 2003, criminally underrated with the failed character arc in season 7 and Friday's not giving him any conclusion with the shit he goes through. 2007, straight up ignored for Raph and Leo's conflict. 2012 had the right pieces but mostly ruined it with the shipping. Rise was actually great. Every time he was on the screen it was such a joy, and he had great character arc during the show and movie. I don't care for Mutant Mayhem. So now that we have gotten a better picture of the problem with Donnie's representation, I have some ideas on how to fix it. So we know that Leonardo got himself the entire season and 2 movies for himself, Raphael got 2 movies too, and Mikey has the last running comic, so I got 2 ideas. Number 1 will be dedicating an entire season for him. Like let's say for a new TV show, not the new one based on Mutant Mayhem movie. The Turtles do their usual business, but at the end of season 1, Donnie fails to protect Master Splinter with his tech and becomes incredibly depressed and obsessed on making sure this never happens again, overworking himself. And as the Turtle brothers need to go stop whatever bad is terrorizing the surface, Donnie won't go with them as he's too obsessed with his new tech being perfect. So he stays behind, only for the 3 others to get captured. So Donatello will need to realize that his brothers need him and his tech skills as they are now, as they don't need to be perfect. So he goes over to the bad guy's base with April, Splinter and Casey, but oh no, the Turtle Bros are brain fast, so here ensues epic fight, especially with Mikey as he will lash out on Donnie during the fight about him not being there for them, and especially not being there for him. But in the end, Donnie breaks mind control with him accepting not lately being there to support him, like with Rise's movie, and there will be a very heartwarming scene of Donnie just hugging him. I just want Donnie vs Mikey fight, alright, as it would be really nice to have, especially with the amount of Leo vs Raph we have. So they all break free of the mind control, get the fuck out, and everyone is happy. Donnie finally realizes that he didn't need to overwork himself to prove his skills, and it would be pretty nice if the episode's final scene is just Donnie sleeping peacefully. The second idea is a movie made for him. Do the whole scrap 2007 sequel movie of him accidentally unleashing Technotron onto the reality and him needing to fix his mess. They could have Leo and Donnie have some conflict as their plans on how to stop Technotron are different. Then they get separated from the others and Leo could give him some emotional yet firm talk about his actions and needed to admit that he can always burden himself and do things his way. And the more they talk, Donnie would open up more about his fears and him and Leo being on the same pace on how to destroy the Technotron. I'm getting sick of saying Technotron, I'm just gonna call it Techno the rest of the video. At the end, they meet Krang with his sick android body and they all first go against him, only for him to push the others away and seal the room, making Donnie vs Krang. Krang will be like tech over everything, but with the help of his brothers and especially Leo, he will be like, nah, doing things the old-fashioned way is great too. and then there's a cool battle between them, but obviously Krang having stronger body will mean Donnie stands no chance. But as his last ditch effort to stop him, he sets Techno to self-destruct and the collapsing roof defeats Krang by having him getting impaled. But as Donnie accepts his inevitable death, he gets brought back to reality by Leo who went to get him, and with his assistance they both get out of Techno in time before it blows up. They all will be very happy to see him, and Donnie could rest easy knowing he averted the end of the world. He could choose luck with his bros and them just watching over the horizon, knowing they're stronger than ever before, and then go over for some pizza. And those are my ideas on how to give Donnie some deserved screen time. These aren't perfect by any means, but I personally would really want to see something like this and, you know, really show some of his biggest strengths like caring a lot about others, but also fixing his flaws like overworking. But hey, this video started to be very long, so let's wrap things up. Donatello is my favorite, and I really want him to have his turn on the spotlight for once. I mean, for over 40 years of the TMNT franchise, what media could you really say was made for him? And it's such a shame as the Woodtalker turtle who makes machines could kick some serious ass. While making this video, I did see he had some really nice development over the years, but I feel like there's so much more to do with him, and personally I'm tired of seeing only movies that focus on Rap or Leo, as there are two other turtles that exist. And I don't know, having a movie or TV show where he's the hero of the story would at least satisfy people like me who want him to have his turn. Anyway, I ramble on long enough. I want to thank you for making it this far into the video. I have for years wanted to make something like this, and having my talks finally go out there, it feels really nice. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.
Your skills are no match.
Nice going, partner. Move 'em out! Woohoo!